This is LiveWell Talk on a day in the life of a radiographer. I'm Dr. Dustin Arnold, Chief Medical Officer at Unity Point Health St. Luke's. Today's episode is another entry into our podcast where we sit down with team members in various roles at Unity Point Health and illustrate how the hospital is just not a building where doctors and nurses work, that medicine is a team sport, and there is a large team that care for each patient. Joining me today on this episode is Janelle Burr, a radiographer with St. Luke's Imaging Services, to discuss the role of radiographer and what she does on a daily basis. Janelle, welcome to the podcast.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Guttenberg, Iowa.
Guttenberg, okay. And how long have you been here?
I've been paid here for about 3 years, but I also went to X-ray school here, so I've been here about 5.
Okay, well, we'll get into the training for that. But first, to become a radiographer, and then to start with, give me an overview of what a radiographer is and just a normal day for you.
So radiographer is like a blanket term, like the imaging services is a blanket term. Within that term, you have, X-ray techs like me, the general radiographers, and then there's CT, MRI, ultrasound, nuclear medicine. We kind of all fall under that branch. Me being just a general radiographer, X-ray tech, I, clock into work and sit down and wait for the patients to come in and do my X-rays and get them treated.
So you help the patient get the pictures for the radiologist.
Correct. So we're part of the diagnostic process.
Okay. And that, how many studies do you guys do a day?
A lot. We see not only the outpatients that come in,
right,
but we also take care of the inpatients. Yeah. We also cover the ER. We have fluoroscopy, which also sees outpatients. And then I also go to the OR, so I help in the surgery part of things, the intra-ops. So
you do for an orthopedic surgery, you do the intra-op x-ray so the surgeon knows that
Correct.
The alignment's what they need, et cetera.
Okay. Correct.
What kind of education does it take to become a radiographer? You said you went to school here. Tell us about that.
So, yeah, I actually originally went to school for biomedical engineering at the university. Didn't like it, dropped out. While I was there, I started volunteering at the University of Iowa hospitals in radiography just because I thought it looked cool. And I kind of fell in love with it. Didn't want to do the university's program because it was a little bit longer, more expensive. Found this program through both Mercy and St. Luke's here in Cedar Rapids. So I finished up my associates at Kirkwood and moved up here and started the program. It's about a 2-year program.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
It's a 2-year program once you're into it, and it's basically a full-time job. It's pretty awesome. The program here has one of the most clinic times.
Yeah, a lot of hands-on.
Because I
see the students and know that they're over there. And,
yeah, you kind of hit the ground running. I think I was doing my first chest x-ray week 2. It's fantastic.
Are you scared of the x-rays? The radiation?
No. It's a healthy fear. The equipment is so much better now than it was, when it was created. Obviously for myself, I want to have kids. I want to do this for a long time. So I'm very conscious of my occupational dose. But, patients coming in for a chest x-ray or a CT or any of those studies.
I know you guys take precautions.
Right.
If you're right, it used to be really dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of the radiologist's name, but he's with Dr. Halstead and Dr. Osler at Johns Hopkins. They founded the medical school there. One of them was a radiologist. And by the end of his career, he had lost fingers and, ended up dying of some sort of lymphoma, probably from radiation. It was, they didn't...
they tell you lots and lots of horror stories. We're very conscious of our dose now. And I don't have it on right now, but we usually have dosimeters. Right? Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So you mentioned ultrasound, MRI. Does that require extra schooling then?
Yes. So from my associates and certification degrees, I could do CT, I could do MRI. I would have to do the on-the-job training plus more classwork to get typically a bachelor's. Ultrasound and nuclear medicine, they are completely different demons, and you have to do typically a bachelor's degree in that field.
Okay.
Radiation therapy, I didn't mention that, but I could go do that. I would have to, again, go do more schooling and the training.
So to treat cancers, et cetera, over at the Helen G, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I guess I never put 2 and 2 together that you probably have to go a radiographer pathway and then
Not everybody does, but a lot of people do.
Now some radiographers, they end up in the cath lab, right? Yeah, that's another.
I didn't even think about that. Cath lab, interventional, yep.
Yeah,
we go everywhere.
About a third of the team up there is radiographers, and some of my friends that are up there, that's what they did. They went to radiology school and radiographer school. And,
places you don't even think of.
Yeah, they do a great job. So what's the ongoing, I mean, we have in-service and Cornerstone and all that stuff that we all have to do, but what's the ongoing education that you participate in to keep you up on your skills?
Right. So we pay both the Iowa Department of Public Health and the American Registry of Radiologic Technologists. We pay them every year, but every other year we have to do 24 continuing education credits. They can be through the ARRT. They can, you can download a book and take a test that way. Like there's a bunch of different ways to do it. I did an in-service for our new ER room, and that was worth 7 credits, I think.
Okay.
So you have to turn those in every other year.
For it's same as a physician, and it's really changed as far as it's so easy because it's so all online.
Right.
And, you used to have to take time off work, go to a conference to get CMEs, and now you can just do it part of your normal job. Actually, there's a function of one of the search engines that you get credit as you look up stuff and then you could claim that credit. Really? So, there's a lot of opportunities there. Yeah. So you don't have to travel and go goof off somewhere to get some credits. You know? What do you like most about your job?
So I work nights. I'm here today, of course, but I love the traumas that come in. I love being a part of, if they stay here, that care throughout. Like you can see them in the ER, you can see them in the OR, you can see them post-operatively, like kind of that continuing care, and also being able to see a multitude of patients with a multitude of conditions. Like I think that's really cool, and kind of being able to go everywhere and help all the departments out.
I always liked working nights because when you get off, there's a sense of accomplishment that you don't have when you work the day shift,
Right.
It's like, oh, I survived. Yes. How long have you been on nights?
Since I graduated in 2020.
Oh, wow.
So 2020, peak time to be graduating X-ray school.
Yeah, I bet. What do you like about just St. Luke's? Tell us why you work here and why you tell someone else to work here.
I originally chose St. Luke's over Mercy just because of the hours. I knew I wanted to work nights. So that was a big deciding factor. And I also really liked the mission statement of treating every patient like they're your family and how you would want your family to be treated. So that is what really drew me here. And what's kept me here is all of the people I've met. I really love the work that I do. And working nights, I always say a typical night is enough to keep me moving, but not enough to overwhelm me. So that's
cool.
I love the workload here. I love what I do. I love who I do it with.
Yeah, I genuinely like the people I work with. I just, I just enjoy being around them.
Even the radiologists, they're not even that scary.
Yeah.
They're super nice. And
well, other than Dr. Seitz, and that we could do a whole podcast on Dr. Seitz.
That's very true.
Yes, he's a good friend of mine, so I feel comfortable picking on him. Well, Janelle, thank you again for joining me and sharing about your day in the life of a radiographer. Once again, this is Janelle Burr, radiographer with St. Luke's Imaging Services. If you're interested in a career in radiology at St. Luke's, visit unipoint.org/careers. Thank you for listening to LiveWell Talk On. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to spread the word, please give us a 5-star review and tell your family, friends, neighbors, strangers about our podcast. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, or wherever you get your podcast. Until next time, be well.